1, 2, 3, jiu-jitsu. We did yesterday, but without the gi. So without the gi, it does have some differences. So obviously, instead of having the sleeve, then I have his wrist, and instead of having the collar, then I have the back of his head. But everything else is basically the same. There will be some differences as I move on, right? So I pull him forward, right? He steps. I go wrap my leg around him. He goes with me. I stretch him out, all right? Now after I stretch him out, it's gonna be hard to hold on to his head. So a lot of times at this point, I'm basically gonna bail of holding his head, you know? Because here, it's hard to do this. So I would already like be moving on to this side. That makes sense, all right? So right off the bat, what I'm gonna do right here is I'm gonna pull him towards me, right? Now if I have the head, then I can pull here. But if I don't have his head, that's cool too. Now I can also use this to move myself towards him. So there's a lot of things you can do here. If you don't have the gi, you do have to make adjustments. Right, so for example, like, go back. So for example here, as I grab the wrist, then I pull in here, and then this also gives me other options, all right? Now, the one we're gonna do first is just the triangle, so I'm gonna hold on to his head, or I can, if I loosen, I can just grab it again, all right? Now, once I have it, I pull him towards me, and then my leg comes around, my other one comes here, boom, and I trap him inside my triangle trap, okay? Lift my hips, okay? You don't have the gi, so it's gonna be a little more complicated. Like you don't have as much control. You gotta be very particular with your movement. So as I lift my hips to the side, okay, and then I'm very tight, right? Again, you don't have the gi, you don't have as much friction. So you really have to be tightened up. While I'm here, my legs are doing, you know, I'm squeezing the whole time. You see Kyle's head looks red for a reason, you know, so I'm very tight the whole time. So as I push here, I grab my shin, all right? And then I put my foot either on his hip or on the floor, all right? And I twist. Remember that twist is very important. That twist right here, you see how he's already all wrapped up? Okay, you cool? Yeah. Yeah. Kyle just tapped because I want to pass out, right? Just because of this. And I'm not even locked in place, okay? And I grab my shin, my foot goes over, I point my toes to the ceiling, okay? You okay? Yep. All right, let's start over. From the beginning. No, sorry, I'm sweating a lot.
I'm used to it.
All right, yeah.
I've worked with you time for time.
All right, grab the wrist, pull, all right, wrap. He comes with me, stretch him out. All right, now from here, then up, move here, grab, here, turn. And when I'm turning, you see where I'm putting my heel, like all past my knee. All right, and then it's very easy for me to go here. I just point my toes to the ceiling, turn, right? You see, I did all that without even my hands, just because of the turn. When I wrap here, and I'm pointing my toes up, I'm turning, which is making this smaller, the hole in which his head is. Okay? One more time. Good. Yep. Right, he's a little more faster. Pull, wrap, stretch him out. Cool. Right. Find a partner that kind of looks like you, and let's do it. 1, 2, 3. All right. I'm gonna give you a one-off. All right. I got Chris. Wrist. All right. So I got wrist, hat, same thing. We're gonna keep pulling the same way. So pull the same way. Get here, stretch him out. Everything's the same. Now here, I'm gonna grab his arm inside, right? Because I want that tight grip. And then I'm gonna throw my leg over his shoulder, get my other one out, pull here. Change to his other wrist, go under his leg. Now when I stretch him out, you see how my hips are pointing that way? I'm going this way first, this way. So that's, not only to tighten it up, but it's also making it harder for him to get up, right? If I stay here, like get up, Christian, you can get up, okay? Go back. No, also, do not get up like the way Christian did, all right? It's a good lesson. Christian, do that again. If you do that, you're about to get armbar. So that's why, Christian, that's not good, right? So don't do that. You have to keep your arm bent, and then you get up with your arm bent. Do not try to straighten it out, because if you try to straighten it out, then you're gonna run into the armbar. Okay, now, when I get him flat and I scoot out, now Christian, try to get up. As I scoot back, it's a lot harder for him to get up all the way, right? Because I'm scooting this way, back. I'm scooting the whole way. I'm scooting. Right? So it makes it a lot harder. Gives me time to then hold his head, his wrist, his hips, excuse me. And then here, I keep walking away. Once I get here, I keep walking away. Makes it tighter, okay? I S my legs, okay? Right here. Right? And then from here, which is a mistake a lot, okay? Yeah. The mistake a lot of people make is they start leaning like this. You start leaning like this. And then it takes a minute. You can get it, but it takes a little longer. Especially if they're very flexible. It's gonna take me a little longer. So what I do is I'm lifting my hips. I lift my hips. Okay, you see the difference? Versus. Okay? You okay?
Yeah.
What? One more time. I got the back of the head. I have the wrist. Make them step. Wrap. Stretch them out. I grab here. They're real tight. And then I throw my leg over. Switch my hands. Here. Walk. Tighten my legs up. The tighter this is, also the less I actually have to get up. Alright? This also makes it a lot harder for him to fight this at any point in time. Okay? So here I just lift my hips. Boy. What? Last time? You good?
Yeah.
I'm good? Alright. Here.
So Chris was trying to get out. What was like?
Well, the whole getting up thing is legit. Also, like,
You try to roll over. Or like...
so you have various things you can do. Now, the getting up, which is why I was like, hey, don't straighten your arm out. I don't want to straighten my arm out because then he's gonna armbar it. But what I would do is I grab the inside of my thigh and I get up like this. Right? So that's one way. Another way, so which is if he doesn't hug my body, then the other way, which is why you want to hug the body so they don't do the roll. All right? Another way. Come in. So, all right, now it's 1, 2, 3. Got the back of the head. I have the wrist. Same entry. I still pull. I still go here. I go here. Everything's the same. Now the only difference now is that I'm gonna grab his wrist, and then I'm gonna grab his heel, and then I'm gonna go inside, scoot in, go here. So I'm now in single legs. All right. From here, I'm gonna lift my hips up. I go out. Now yesterday we did the ankle lock. Now we're gonna do the heel hook. Now we're gonna do a little bit of a different heel hook, all right? So this is a heel hook. This is a heel hook for small feet people. Sorry, Taylor. All right? So when people have very small feet, it's a little harder to get this heel, all right? Because they have tiny little feet. Kyle, fortunately, has a big ass foot. But if he had a tiny foot, when I go for this, it slips, all right? So one thing that you do for the foot not to slip is instead of doing the heel hook with this arm, I'm using this arm just to hold him in place, just to hug his leg, okay? And the heel hook actually happens with my other hand, right? So this one is just holding his leg in place. My other hand is gonna grab his heel, right? And then I hug my arm as such. You see, I'm literally grabbing his heel with my hand, and I'm just hugging my hands as such. Right? Kyle already feels it, and then this is also very strong, because versus I just go here, now I have my hand to like pull it, all right? Which makes it very strong. So I grab the heel, and I grab my own arm here, which makes it very tight. That's it. You know, that's obviously the whole tap is in turn, right? One more time. So I'm here. Grab it. Stretch them out. Push the hands. Push here. Here. Out. And then when I'm here, I'm gonna go here. And then I grab here. Relax. No, you're not. Right. I'm trying to kick out the rest, so I want to get heel hook before I even grab it. Right? So I grab, and then I grab. Right? And then as I get really tight, and I tighten my legs. Right? So just. You basically, at that point, you're using both your hands on his heel, so it's very strong. Be careful with it, do it very slow. Right, one more time, let's go. Right here, slow. Go, back, let's do it. 1, 2, 3.